Dude, W streak. W streak. Oh my god. Yeah, did you see they added the streak thing? Which I thought was already a thing. I think they just added a button to share it. You can be like, by the way, guys, I've been watching for 5 years, you know, or whatever. Which is cool. But yeah, you couldn't share them before. You just, or like you could do some of it. I don't know. But the thing is, you know what happens? It just puts it into the list, so I just see them pop up. It just pushes all the subs away. So I gotta turn it off so I only see it in the chat. I'm doing it now. Yeah, the activity feed. I'm filtering it out of the activity feed because I can still see it in chat. Yeah, now it has like a special little format. It's got a little flame. Wow. You can now but who binges every stream. It's the best. I mean, from my perspective, it's the best. People being like, yeah, I'm here every day. Yeah, I'm here as much as you. I love that. Oh, my filter's reset too. I have to adjust. Oh god. They added crowd control to this. Oh, you could filter in and out crowd control stuff in the activity feeds. They actually made that a thing on the back end here, which is interesting. That's kind of nice because I was thinking about doing crowd control again. It's been a while. It's one of my most favorite tools, though. It's so good. You looked fantastic as the mutated rat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really blew out my voice on Friday. On Halloween. I was gonna stream on the alt channel, but then we were doing instead of hopping onto my main character and doing Friday, which I was gonna do, Burn messaged me the day before, and he was like, hey, I know it's last minute, but I'm doing Halloween stuff if anyone wants to help out. I think I was the only person besides Kermoto who showed up later. I think I was the only one who was just like, oh, I'm in that shit, you know? Other people were mostly playing normally, so it could happen to them, but I was like, no, I'm in it. So we just I was not pre-planned. I'm sure he pre-planned some of it, maybe, or the vague idea, not even fully planned. But I went in there having no idea what we were doing. He was just like, he takes me to the OOC rooftop, and he's like, by the way, I'm gonna put on this model, and he just shows this big fucking rat mutant model, and I was like, what is that? I had never seen it before. And so yeah, the OOC helipad killed me. That shit killed me. It was so funny. Then Elo and Capt came up. Oh, I have the funniest screenshot. I was gonna post it on Twitter. I'll describe it to you because I want to post it so you see it as a Twitter post first. I have a screenshot of Capt on the rooftop dressed as John Faceless Blue Man. But it's I'm in the rat model and I'm first person view, so you see my arm holding the battle axe in the bottom right corner of the screen. Yeah, you see the battle axe, and then you see him as Blue Man holding a chainsaw looking at me, and we're both on the OOC helipad. And I'm gonna post and be like, this is the Faceless they don't want you to see. This is what they don't want you to know about. Oh, it was so funny. It was so funny, but it was a good time. And then I dipped out for a bit to go outside and stand on the street corner with some candy for the kids for Halloween. Because in cities you gotta get creative with how you do that. so it's not like I could just sit in my home necessarily. So I went out and did stuff for the kids, you know. I thought at first we were gonna have way fewer trick-or-treaters walking around, but there were a lot. There were a lot. So I was out there for a few hours, just like on a corner in a foldy chair, just like with a bunch of other people. We were all just kind of sitting in a line, spread out on the block, and kids were walking past and stuff. You're great on Birdstorm and Halloween. I was just talking about it. I have a really funny picture I'm going to post later tonight of the OC helipad. Also, one of you said Burn and Buddha had lots of fun on Halloween. He said they were having fun messing with people. Me too! Isn't there someone you forgot to mention? Yeah, no, it was a good time. It was a good time. I tried hard to carry some of the earlier bits that Byrne was trying to do too. He was running around as a tiny rat and squeaking at people, and I think he was trying to collect like followers, you know, like people to be part of his rat cult. But it's hard to do when you're just a rat, you know. So I came in dressed as a rat, a man in a rat outfit, and named him Rathu Jones. And just ran around and like explained to them like, this is the master. You have to put on the rat mask. And I would throw a smoke grenade while the person would change, and then he would speak to them. Oh, it was good. It was great. It was a little hard, a little clunky to do all of our bits when only one of us had a menu, the dev menu. But I did my best to make it work. It turned out really well. You got the admin menu, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I want a menu so badly because I have so many things. I've written up entire documents of storylines that I could do if I had one, or bits I could do with friends. And then this way, if I bring an admin friend in to help with it, or a dev menu friend, you know, I can give them the play-by-play and they can apply shit to me so I can do it, or vice versa. They can do it and I just have written the story for them, or whatever it is. But I do want a menu. I just feel like it's a hard sell when I'm a variety streamer. I feel like I'll get looked down on. I don't know. Not in a bad way, but you know what I mean. Why would they give me a menu over someone who RPs all day every day on stream or something? But at the same time, people like me might be the best ones to come in with fresh ideas to DM for other people, you know? Because I used to DM in D&D quite a bit, and I loved writing up stories and making shit happen. You know, so DMing in like other roleplay games is really fun. So I would love to do like a little monthly event or something, but I've been writing up ideas, so we'll see. Buddha lost it when he found out you were playing the rat ogre. Did he? I assumed, I was just praying like people would not hold you, like the U key, to see that it was me. I wonder, did any of them realize it was me, chat, besides Buddha? Did anyone else in New Babylon know that I was the rat that was attacking them? I scared some of them real bad. That was fun for Halloween, just being around corners and scaring my friends. Oh, man. There's literally nothing better. There's literally nothing better. But I want to do more stuff like that. Buddha only realized because he turned on usernames. Yeah, I guess he wanted to see who was doing that, but it was... I don't think people know that, like, me and Byrne were gonna do this. I think some of them probably assume, like, maybe Byrne, but I don't know. But I'm gonna help him write storylines because I feel like it's hard to do. Like, you can't make these actual storylines happen alone. It's just impossible to physically do a lot of the work for it too. Like Cap's doing the faceless stuff. I know he brings in friends to play their characters and things, but it's most helpful when you have like 2 or 3 people with menus to kind of run around and do this stuff. So I'm gonna try my best to help Byrne, and I had a lot of storyline ideas that could be really fun. The only thing that would suck is then I don't get to play through those so much, but I really don't mind. But yeah. He spotted you just sitting in the sewers as Rathu calling people. Did he really? I was calling people in the lemon list. I was warning them about the giant rat. And Rathu's voice, I did like a voice changer to be a little higher pitched. Let me see. Was it this one?
Was it this? Oh yeah, it's this. It was like this, and I went, hey guys, my name is Matthew Jones.
That's how I did it. He had a lisp, so he was like, I'm Matthew Jones. It was that, but with a little voice changer on. Literally him.
Oh, I love cheese. It's so delicious.
That was him. Great character. Really, really big depth to that character. Matthew Jones. You would not guess that that's me? I wish I streamed it at the same time. I thought it'd be so much funnier if I didn't. If people don't know it's me. Yeah, I made him a Jones clone. But I did record some of my POV, so I'm gonna give it to my editor maybe and have him put some of that on the VODs channel. I didn't record the beginning of the day though, the early stuff with Rathy running around with Burn, the rat. Is this some very GEEGA code phrase? I'm sure someone realized it to you. Peppo knew it was me. He clocked it way too fast, man. I called, here, I can go here. Sorry, let me press the button. 100%, Peppo knew it was me, dude. He kept saying chica at me, like, even though I was like, I'm a man. I was like, because Rathy was a guy, you know, that character's a dude. He's a big, strong man. And then he was like, okay. But then he kept saying chica over and over. And I was like, dude. Because he knew it was me. Oh, man, it was funny. It was crazy, man. So -1. But I wanna do more stuff, more DM stuff. I'm not gonna leak obviously what the ideas are because it's so much more fun for you guys to watch like a thing happen and then, you know, get into it. But there's a lot of stuff on the server that you could tell some people started some storylines or had some ideas that kind of got breadcrumbs thrown around and then nothing happened with them. So I want to see if there's any of that stuff that I could maybe pick up and be like, hey, if you don't have the time to do this or the effort or the energy or you don't want to, I would love to continue it because I love DMing. And then there's other stuff that I have that's just totally separate that I want to do. I was thinking of doing a monthly event as well. Not a big storyline event, but a monthly event where I grab some people to just join me and make similar characters one-lifers. It might be like monthly one-lifers, or maybe they're not all one-lifers, but we make characters, maybe it's one-lifer permadeath run, I don't know. But we all kind of, I give them a theme, and they all make characters within that theme, make a little character sheet, an idea for them. And then we just all hop on the server at the same time and just do a thing. I just take them through like a very mild storyline. So the first one, you missed the citywide hide and seek I did? I would love to do more of that stuff, yeah. So I wanted to make a guy that was literally like the puzzler, and he looks like the Riddler. And I want to have him just show up and like have a puzzle that he gives to a bunch of people, and if they can figure out the puzzles, then they get something. Very simple, just the puzzler, right? I think that'd be a good character. And he can run mini games. He can look like a game show host and all cheesy and stuff. I think that'd be fun. Kind of like, we could even just do cash cab. We could just do cash cab. I rent a little taxi thing painted yellow and drive around and literally only do cash cab. But I also thought it would be fun to do like things where I have a bunch of other people join me. So the first one that I want to do, I'm going to do in November, is I'm going to have a bunch of people make characters that are elderly people. Or elderly. And I'm going to get a bus. And I'm going to have, I don't know if it'll be a me or someone else, but we'll have a tour guide who's taking the elderly people out for their annual, like their regular senior home outing. So they don't get out much and they haven't seen the city in a while. And then and that's it. And I'm going to give them a list of conditions that if this thing happens, if that thing happens, you have to roll for perma. Okay. So they have to roll for perma, unless it's an existing elderly character, right? If it like Anya joins or James Randall, I'm not going to make them do that, obviously. But all the like new characters made, I'll give them a list of conditions. and we'll see what happens. We'll see how many of them die. But yeah, I wanted to just get like a tour bus of old people going around, and I want them to. I have a lot of other things to throw in there, but I think that would be fun. So I wanted to grab a bunch of friends for that. Game are you running? We'd be doing it, yeah, on NoPixel. We'd be doing it on NoPixel for sure. So it would just be for friends that have access to the server, because it's the one place I know best how we can make funny content out of that, for sure. And there are a lot of variety streamer friends that I have that don't really play on the server and haven't played for a long time, but they're still whitelisted. So if they want to hop on, they can hop on. It could be good. Yeah, no, we're not doing it in D&D form. We're not doing it in D&D form. I might try to maybe do some stuff like that later, bit by bit. I would love to, because I love roleplay, but I don't necessarily like the game GTA that much. You know what I mean? It's just that the roleplay servers for it are the best for making stuff happen. The Red Dead ones too are really good. And there aren't a lot of games where you can get people to hop on just to do like a DM'd roleplay scenario. There are very few where you can get people to do that. I have some friends that do Gmod, and that's maybe an easier sell, so I could do something in Gmod maybe. But yeah, in general, it's hard. So that's why a lot of people just kind of stick to GTA, because like at least a lot of people are already whitelisted. They're already on there, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Minecraft is another. Minecraft is one. All the SMPs that pop up because people have Minecraft. You know, yeah, VR as well. So they're like a couple of games that are easy to get people into for these like one-offs, but a lot of others where people just won't do it, especially if they have to download a lot of shit. It's not just the game itself. It's tough. So, but yeah, not uno. Nuh-uh. But yeah, so I wanna make more stuff. Toadling, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it. Also, Ordekai, thank you for the resub. Klebens, thank you for the resub. Thank you. Spinal Toe, thank you for the resub. Sounds like GTRP is kind of like the D&D of the space. A lot of folks aren't that into the actual game, but it is what's most popular. Yeah, pretty much. I just like roleplay and like making those scenarios and stuff. I don't really care what game it's in. And of course, I just defaulted to D&D for so many years because that's what I had. That's what my friends played. So I had years of just playing D&D with them forever, you know? But I don't really care what game it is as long as I get to do the thing. So, you know. So the good thing about like RP servers of all sorts of games is you tend to get to know the people on there. So when you make a thing happen and they have their ongoing characters, you can make some crazy shit happen to someone's ongoing character, you know? So, and that can be really fun. I do like when people make like fresh little one-off roleplay scenarios, but I think it's really funny when someone is like playing a character that they've been playing for years on a server, and then like you just show up and you're like, I'm the Rat King, you know, and you have like some crazy scenario happen to a known character. That's really fun. So that's why I like doing stuff like that in those types of servers. Garrick with the Gmod furry dark RP. Yeah, I'm gonna join the next one. The next time they do dark RP, oh man. It's gonna be great. Ever tried RPing in any of the MMOs? Seems like a unique scene. I never really did because it was filled with people ERPing. And it gets really awkward because not everyone's ERPing, but a lot of them are. And when you try to... It's also tough because there's no moderation. Typically. There's no moderation. So it's just a bunch of people and it's like, oh, this server allows RP. And then people are just like, I'm a Tauren with huge tits, huge boobs, I'm a Tauren. You know, and like they just kind of like run around like that. Or they're like, I have a force field and I'm the strongest Tauren. Like, and it's not really like story based. It's literally just people being like, here's my character sheet, I'm this thing. And that's it. And then there's no moderation, you know? So it's so hard to make that happen unless you go in with a group of friends. Then, you know, you get people on the same page and then it's not so bad. But, yeah. Old people on a bus can be funny, but old people on a bus getting traffic stopped can be true chaos. Exactly, exactly. That's why it's fun to hop into like existing communities and do that kind of stuff. You know? Would you consider doing Red Dead? I would consider it. I just am not primarily a roleplay streamer. I had like an arc for like, it was like 3/4 long almost. The arc, like 8 months. And then I just went back to variety. I could a little bit, but the thing is, Red Dead roleplay is like super slow burn, and I feel like it. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but it looks like it's tough to make a character and just be on there for a day. It looks like you have to like long haul storyline and play a lot, you know. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's not, but I would do it if it was like one off. I just don't want to make a whole ass character on like one of those servers and stuff. Red Dead is either your joke character with no true story, or you commit to that shit. Yeah, if it's like a funny joke character, then I don't mind. I don't mind. Which I wanted to do a lot more of in GTA RP, which is what I was talking to Bird about. So I have a lot of ideas, and I thought it'd be cool to do like a monthly event. Sometimes bring in a bunch of friends, sometimes just make it like me and one other person. Or like how like Kiva has her character Sadie Cooper, and she's just a Go Postal worker. And she just shows up and is like, if you want to send someone a letter, let me know. And she just does telegrams for people, and it enables people to do like really funny bits. She goes, Go Postal, like stuff like that is really good. So I was like, I don't really want to stream it on main unless it's like the reset, unless it's like literally 5.0. But if it's like a couple hours on like, yeah, like Sadie Cooper, like some sort of character like that, that shit's funny. So we'll see. Clip Viewer here. Gigabytes is such a good clip channel name, though. Not my clip channel, for the record. Mine is called Daily Giga. Here, wait, I'll do this. There you go. The rancid letters you got from Edgar. Oh, we got some bad ones. Do you prefer not streaming RP? I think I ultimately will always have more fun when I'm not streaming it. Yes. Because I find I'm able to like not be distracted. I'm able to like really lock in on what I'm doing. But I still like streaming it. I like streaming it. I just don't like... I think I like streaming it when it's a one-off character. When it's like... When it's my longer-term storyline type of thing, I don't always like streaming it. I think it's fun in the beginning, but then over time, it's hard. If I'm not purely an RP streamer, I think it's tough because a lot of people in the chat get lost. And then I have to spend a lot of time catching them up, or I feel like in between talking to a character, I'm like explaining, I'm like, oh, this is who this is. And it's someone I've known this character for 8 months. We've been like in a gang together for 8 months or whatever. But new people are like, what is this? Who is that? You know? And I have to like explain constantly. And I think that's the part of it that I don't like. It's one thing if you're just an RP streamer, but when you have other viewers coming in from Variety and other things that are like, oh, I just want to check out what you do with this, then it gets really tough. It's really tough, and it's like hard to lock in and have fun doing it when you're like explaining it to people the whole time, you know, because it's literally like a 2-year-long thing, you know. So that could be really tough. I think I still don't mind here and there, but it can be hard. It can be hard. It also moves really fast. So sometimes even in the same stream, something's happening. People come in and they're like, can someone recap me on what's going on? They're like, the chat is just doing that the whole time. And if you have like a mod or a couple viewers that you like whitelist to like be the explainers, it's not so bad. Some chats have those. So when people come in and they're like, I don't know what's going on, people will like, you know, send them something and be like, here's what we're doing. And that's helpful, but not every chat has that. You know, that makes it kind of tough. Yeah, you do end up with lore masters. But it could be really fun still. It could be really fun. Would something like a not watching chat pattern be useful at all for seeing focus? That doesn't help me, no. The fact that chat is there is the problem for me. Not being able to lock in. It doesn't matter if I just don't look or whatever. I'm just aware that people are watching and it makes me think about wanting to explain it or something, you know? But I think all the little one-off stuff is really fun because then if you have no idea what goes on the server, you don't know anything, it's totally fine because you're just watching like a TV show. Like, you know, you're just watching one episode of a TV show. It's a one-off experience. The character has no history. That stuff is really fun. You know. You fiend for the Denzel GG meeting? Our characters met. He was at Thanksgiving, remember? Denzel and GG met. I think it'd be great because I've become really good friends with the streamer behind him, John. Because his other character that he plays is friends with my character. So I think the characters could meet and we would already know that like we can be on the same page. You know what I mean? Like us as people, as far as how we like to conduct ourselves on the server and stuff. So it'd be good. But I think 5.0 gang, that is Gigi, Denzel, Skipper John. I don't know if Skipper joined. Skipper, Larry, Avon Barksdale. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Too bad we can't have a Dragon Ball Z recap at the beginning of each RP stream to catch me up. I would love that. I think that could happen. I would have to pay an editor a lot of money to constantly update that. Oh, Delver, yeah. I don't know. That's possible, but expensive. If I made tons of money, I would do it. I don't, though. I really don't. If only. If only. I lost a lot of money this year, guys, so, you know. Not to, like, Satch Farm, but I wouldn't be able to, like, you know, pay somebody for frivolous expenses. Also, there is, one of you said, wonder if there are any, or you said, wish there was a plugin or command like that one CRPG add-on where you could see the important story milestones. There is one called GTA RP Companion. I don't know if there's a separate one for Red Dead or if they're just using the GTA one, but someone made a companion extension. And I got access to be able to use it. Blau got me access to it. I don't know if he had to get me access or if he just kind of sent it to me. Either way, I have it. So I was thinking about putting that in the alt channel and using it and seeing how we like that.
Order.
Huh? Oh, he said Oda. I was like, what? They said order. Taka, thank you for the 10. Comrade, thank you for the 30 months. Tier 3. Solar Mantis as well. Thank you for the resub. Yeah, I don't know. The recaps can be tough. There are people recapping the Discord. Yes and no. People, I will say, the way people are recapping in there, we have the recap channel. I do have people just posting, like, the links of what happened when. But it would be nice if people did, like, a short paragraph of here are the important things that affect the story long term. You know what I mean? It's not necessary, though.
Aware?
It's not necessary at all. Aware. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits, guys. I do appreciate it. Yeah, no, this year's been... Okay, not the Satch Farm. I will mention because some of you started subbing and stuff. You know, the year has not been good financially. There were a lot of expectations that didn't pan out for many reasons that you know, some you don't know as well. There are some business relationships that I had that kept me paid up a little more. I kept things in a pretty good spot that I don't have anymore, that I wish I had. But because of everything company-wise and all that, I didn't have. And there were supposed to be other things to replace those, which is why, you know, things were moved forward with. but those didn't work out and I never got paid from those. So there was a lot of expectation that just, boom, done. Didn't happen. So, yeah. It's been a year. That's what I'll say. It's been a year. No good. No good. But yeah. So. And then on top of that, all the legal fees that came up and everything. It's just like everything at once. I was gonna get certain bits of like work done. Like I wanted to fix up like one of the bathrooms. It's an older place and I was like gonna redo a bathroom and stuff, and I just decided like not to. I did some stuff in here, but it was smaller stuff. There are some bigger projects that kind of need to get done at some point, but I was just like, yeah, I just can't do it this year. Like I don't, like I can't be spending tens of thousands on this stuff right now. So, you know, I think it's not a good idea. I don't think I'm gonna like die, but you know, not great. It's stuff I was like, oh man, I'll finally be able to do this, but no. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. But we'll see how things go. There's some good stuff at least on the horizon that will help out. Like it'll make it moving forward better, so I can hopefully build up and then feel good about like being able to do some of that work, being able to pay for some of it. But it doesn't undo like, you know, a year plus of like lost revenue from certain things that was expected, you know? It really does not. Like it's cool to be good going forward, but you know, that stinks. That stinks. But we'll see. Can we throw you a gift card for Uber Eats or something to help? No, just subscribe, donate, do the normal stuff. I don't want you to give me any things. I don't want you to give me any things. Also, I don't use Throne. Hey, I don't want to like shit on the platform. I don't think they're horrible. I just don't trust anything that's like that. I don't trust Throne. Which I don't think is a popular opinion. I know a lot of people use it. But they're like, hey, give us your information. Give us an address to ship all these things to. Right? And then you do that, and they have it stored. If there's a data breach, there you go. There are data breaches of all sorts of things all the time. Constant data breaches. Especially when it's a smaller company, it's usually a lot easier for that stuff to happen. So that's number one. Thank you for the donor. I appreciate it. Thank you, Rudy. And then number two, I don't trust it because of a lot of things financially. So like, it's less about the information, but more so a lot of items are upcharged on there. You know, you go on Amazon and that item is $10, and then on Throne, when you gift it to the person, it's 15. Why? Just cause. Or they pick the most expensive version of that item every time. And then there's a lot of issue with like some weirdness where one thing that people aren't doing now, but they could do for a while, was when the platform first dropped, people could set up a listing for an item on Amazon that's from them. They make themselves the seller, and then they put that on someone's Throne and then buy it for them. And now they have like the shipping info. Like it was so easy. They made that a lot harder because now people have to go through and like approve things certain ways or whatever. It's a little different, but still like there's still some weirdness with that. And I'm like, I don't know. There's some things that have been fixed, but other things where I feel like there's still really bad loopholes. So not really
Giving
not really
you all
fan.
my old dishware and collectibles to support you in these trying times. You should take it. I was going to throw it out anyways, so I'll just toss it if you don't want it.
How kind. Wow, man. That's great, dude. Yeah, so thoughtful. Thanks. No, I think the hand-me-downs. I think overall, just keep doing whatever you're doing. Any support is appreciated. That's all. That is all. Hold on, I'm grabbing something. There we go. I needed to close like 5 tabs. Ta-da! Let me write down this for help if things get too tight. We want to help. Well, don't speak for other people, number one. That's people's money. I want to speak for people. Number two, yeah, I've thought about it, but I don't want to directly ask ever. I want to do something. Whether that's holding an event or something, you know.
To cover half of the DoorDash delivery fee easy.
Thanks, Spite. Thanks. Wow. No, I'm cool with like asking for more if it's optional, number one, for you, and two, there's some sort of incentive. I'm like doing an event or something. But I don't want to ever be that guy that sits there and is just like, give it now, you know, and then that's it. Like that. Will I always take it? Yeah. Am I going to sit there and ask for it? No. You know, like when it's like just cause, it feels a little weird. Feels a little weird. I also am not dying. I am not dying right now, at least. So, you know, speaking of dying, ooh, boop. Speaking of dying, it's Movember. It's Movember. This is a reminder. Movember's a thing that's been going on for a long time.
Found some bits down the back of the sofa. Here you go. I hope this helps Boris.
Oh, he'll eat them. He'll eat them. Thank you. I'm going to open the Movember tab while you're doing this.
It now.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the bits. Appreciate the bits. It's Movember, so a long time ago, years ago, someone started Movember, M for mustache.
Speaking of dying, chat should be dying to pre-order the Boris plushie from you.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you for the reminder, though. So it's turned into a bigger organization, foundation, whatever you want to call it. Basically, they've kind of turned this month into Men's Health Month. So they started out with Movember being more so about like prostate and testicular cancer. And people would grow mustaches and grow them the entirety of the month and then shave it off at the end of the month. And they would, because when someone who doesn't usually have a mustache has one, people will always ask. People around you will be like, what's up with the mustache? And then that's your chance to raise awareness. You're like, it's because of Movember.
Go to the drugstore,
you know?
buy eye patches, sell them as GEEGA brand eye patches, profit faction.
No.
Chat.
No, Phoenix, no. But it's just an awareness campaign, and it's been really effective. Really effective, because everyone asks when people start growing out a mustache that they don't usually have, or they grow out a different type. Everyone asks about it, so it becomes a prompt, and then people will be like, "Oh, I'm doing it for Movember. It's a thing to do in solidarity with people that are dealing with these cancers," and then you can start to raise awareness, which is how successful awareness campaigns go, right? You just need people to be curious. It started out as a trend. It did vary initially, but it very quickly became that. It very quickly became that. So that's good. They also added in, over the past few years, a lot of support for men's mental health as well. It's become just like Men's Health Month, pretty much, through Movember at least. So yeah, I just wanted to mention it. I'm not working with them in particular. I'm not setting up like my own charity link or whatever. They constantly, like, you can give to them literally anytime. So I'll just let you go there if that's what you want to do. But yeah, they're interesting in that they really do focus on like men's mental health and physical health, which a lot of places don't focus on, and definitely not in a like great way, but I think they do a good job with it. But yeah, and we've kind of done that as well. I used to be sponsored by wow, my brain is blanking and dying, Manscaped. And they were really, really, really big on giving a lot of their money, giving profits to research foundations for testicular cancer, especially. Always been a big proponent of that. I've had family members have issues with this. And it sucks and it sneaks up on you, and it genuinely, not to scare you guys, but it kills people really fast. It's one of those ones that you don't notice, and by the time you do usually notice it, it's like you're done, you're cooked half the time, you know? So yeah, I'm a big proponent of supporting Movember, things like that, because these are like the sleeper ones. I am also a singular ball haver. I lost an ovary from cancer within the last few years. And it's very similarly, any like reproductive cancers, male or female, they're really big on sneaking up on you. Like you don't know that you have them until it's like pretty late. A lot of people pass from them when they find them. And they do affect a lot of people that are relatively young too. So yeah, I'm always going to support stuff like Movember, things like that. Cause it's huge. Anyway, here is the... Oh, there we go. There's the Movember link. Ta-da. Ta-da. There's a lot... They have a lot of suggestions of ways you can give instead of just donating money to a specific... to them so they can, like, allocate it, stuff like that. They have a lot of, if you yourself are like a philanthropist, they specifically, you're like, I have money to give. I want to do this thing, but I don't know how, and I want it to be done well. You can contact them and they'll like pair you with the right person who needs a thing, or, you know what I mean? Like they'll go out of their way to help you figure out how to do that. So there have been a lot of people through Movember that want to be philanthropists but didn't really like know how, and they specifically set up ways for those people to be able to do that and to help them manage that, which is, I think, really interesting. I think that's a cool idea, because instead of just being like, oh, here's my campaign, donate to it, there are a lot of people that be like, well, I don't really feel anything for your campaign specifically, so they like hold their money back. Instead, what Movember, the organization, has done is they've gone to people with money and been like, do you want to be known as a philanthropist? Let's work with you to help you work on a thing, you know, and get your name out there as having given, and we'll work on it together, instead of just like taking that person's money, handing them a receipt and being like, okay, thank you, which is really cool. So that's kind of why I like this group. I like this group in particular, you know, because they really like work with people, and that way some people that want to like help the world but don't know how, and they feel like they need that personal component for it, they can like generate that. It's pretty big. Pretty big in getting like rich people to give. Doing it like that, you know. Your dad just moved to yearly checks for his bladder cancer, which are all relieved as it's remission. Yeah, for sure. That's when you're in a really good spot. Reproductive cancers also tend to metastasize more than most. Oh, don't I know it? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. This is why I didn't tell you guys, my own community, when I had cancer and I was like actively streaming through it. I didn't mention it because if I told you guys at the time, oh yeah, I've got ovarian cancer, you guys would have looked it up and seen that like the death rates for it are very high. The mortality rates are super high. You would have seen like the chance of it coming back very high. You know what I mean? And I was like, I'm not gonna drop that on them. Like they don't need that. So I think a lot of people who have male reproductive cancers do the same. Because, yeah, the chances of them coming back, the chances of them metastasizing, the mortality rates, everything's so high. And then I feel like that results in it not being talked about as much because people you just kind of find out someone has it and then they're either over it or they're dead. Boom. Which is like, you know, I think maybe more ripping off the Band-Aid. Some people might prefer that, but less awareness because of it. For sure. So, yeah. I will say for the male ones, it's a lot easier to get checked. It's a lot easier to get checked for these things pretty quickly, so. Silly question, if you lose both your balls, can you still get related cancer from it? Well, cancer is, you know, a cell that mutates. It starts expressing a protein that it normally wouldn't. You know, certain things genetically get a little messed up and they start producing things that they shouldn't. And then those things, those proteins that they start expressing sometimes lead to them now becoming a tumor, right? And oftentimes you get pre-cancer cells before you get full cancer cells, which is sort of like a semi-benign tumor. And it starts growing a little bit, and then sometimes it's full-blown cancer early, or sometimes it comes later. But, you know, it's just like one specific area where those things start growing. So if that specific area, let's say you have testicular cancer, and they remove that, you should be okay. You should be okay. But if those cancer cells were full-blown normal cancer cells, they could have metastasized, yeah. Anything that has a blood supply, they can get into the blood and move that way. They can move in the same kind of area. They can move locally, right? I didn't just have my ovary removed. I had my fallopian tube attached to that ovary and a portion, a small piece of my uterus as well, removed because there was like no signs of the cells there, but there was like a minor infection that wouldn't go away. It was like inflamed weirdly, and they were like, you know, because they were like, this could, who knows if this is because certain cells are like moving over or something. So we're gonna take this out to make sure. So it can transfer very like locally like that too. So yeah, or it could have just been necrotic, right? I don't know. You know, either way, like all the things it could have been, they were like, none of this is good. It's got to go. So yeah. So even if you have removed them entirely, it can still appear. It could still appear, and it also depends on the type of cell. It depends on the tissue type. Sometimes that tissue type isn't just part of that organ, it's part of tissues nearby too a little bit. So, you know, you gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful. I said, holy moly, I'm a cancer survivor, but it always feels awkward to mention. Yeah, I don't know. I've gotten like, I don't mind mentioning it. Because I think one of the things that got me was, I was not, they were like, the people that usually get this are much older. Ovarian cancer is usually in much older people. Not always, but typically. And they were like, you're not in the, you know, the risk group. Very unlikely for you. Very unlikely. Because there's a tiny percentage of ovarian cancer cases that are, you know, below a certain point. And I was like, well, that makes sense, but what else could this be? But at the same time, they were really reassuring me. They're like, it's so unlikely. But oops, what did it turn out to be? Oops, you know? So I think it's good for me to talk about it very normally, because then other people can, you know, maybe not be so sure it only happens to old people because they've heard a young person, because I'm so young, I'm like 2, you know, talk about having this thing. So it's just, you know, I think it's important. Yeah, YouTube thumbnail says I was 22, so that's real. That's real. But yeah, better safe than sorry. Said ovarian cancer led to your grandmother dying. Get it checked. Yep. My shit was bad. And it snuck up on me. Obviously, in hindsight, I can see how there were certain things that were definitely signs of it, but there were also so many other explanations for it, you know? One of my close friends had prostate cancer and had no idea. And it almost took him out. He was like truly on the brink. He was, you know, hooked up to machines in the hospital, not doing well, on chemo, everything. He had gone and slipped into a coma at some point just because of how much effect it was having on his body. And he was gone for like, he was in a coma for weeks. And I say weeks, but it was over a month. He was in a coma for a long time, and then eventually comes out of it, and they did their best, and he managed to come back from it. He obviously has a bunch of things kind of related. He has a lot of issues and conditions that came from it, but he's alive and he's living an okay life. You know, he's not suffering every day. He's out of it. And you know, he made some like dietary changes, like normal stuff. So, you know, and it was all because he caught it late, because he just I wouldn't blame it on him, but he just didn't think that it would happen to him. He got it pretty young, too. And they're usually like, oh, prostate cancer, you're not going to get it, like, when you're super young. But he got it at, like, 20. Like, straight up. He got it at 20, you know? So, that shit can happen. That shit can happen. So just be careful. Get yourself checked. It's probably not likely when you're not in a certain risk group, but you should always pretend, you know, assume the worst and hope for the best. And see what happens. You know? Yeah, you said buddy of yours developed a cancer around 40 years under the average age for people to get it. It's scary stuff. Yeah. That's what happens, man. That's what happens. Your sister's friend was lucky. She was in her 20s. The doctor was like, let's just be sure. I was shocked when the test came back. She was very lucky. Yeah. You know, I know things cost money. I know it sucks to spend money getting tests that may come back negative and then you're fine, you know. But, yeah, it'll be cheapest in the end. If you don't get certain things checked, which is what I did because I was advised not to. If you don't do certain things, because, you know, why spend the money on it if it's super unlikely? And then it turns out to be that thing. Well, you know, maybe you could have caught it a lot earlier and not racked up a fuck ton of medical debt for it, like me. You know what I mean? It sucks. So it's just a lot better to check shit out early, for sure. 100%. Doctors have told you you're too young for cancers you were being tested for. Don't know why they think it would help you feel better waiting for results. No, going through any testing always is good. It's always good. That thoroughness should bring you peace. You should think about it like, you know, the waiting sucks. Yeah. But going through this is a good thing. It is a very good thing. Always. You want to feel like you've done everything you can. You know? Your younger brother had Hodgkin's at 18. Physically fine, still has PTSD. Oh, dude. That's something I really like about Movember as well. So they do a big focus on men's mental health. But especially, there's also some resources. If you are a man dealing with a certain type of cancer, the counseling you need relating to that especially. I know it's like ultra specific, but it's huge. It is life-changing. It's absolutely huge. Anything that's stigmatized too, being like, you got testicular cancer, now you're going to deal with a bunch of like comments about your balls and stuff like that. And it seems like jokes, but it actually weighs on you when to someone else it's a funny joke to lighten up the mood, but to you you're like, okay, but I lost an organ and I almost died, you know? Like it's their joke, but it's your very real personal situation. You don't know how that person feels about it, etc. They have a lot of resources relating to that stuff too. So yeah, I like Movember. I feel like they're very thorough in offering up help and everything in ways I feel like people really do need. You know? Feeling like you did everything you were able to do is always a good way to see things. Yeah. When it comes to medical stuff especially. You know, don't think about what you could have done previously. Think about where you are right now. What can you do right now? Do those things. Okay, you've done everything you can do. That's I feel like that's the way to put yourself in like a situation where you can be the most sane and beat yourself up the least. And that includes financial. Sometimes you don't have the financial ability to do what you need to do. So if you can't, okay, you've done everything you could do because what you're financially able to do is included in that list. You know what I mean? So you have to see it as that so that you don't beat yourself up. You know? Because I could sit there and I could look in retrospect at all the things that I noticed but didn't get tested certain ways for because we thought it was something else and be like, oh, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Blah, blah, blah. But when the moment I was aware something was properly wrong or I thought something was, more properly wrong, I at that point did everything, you know? And I can like rest my head well at night thinking of it that way, you know? You know what I mean? That's how you got to think of it so you don't go crazy. He said, I feel it's because us men are conditioned in a certain way to laugh things off and tolerate certain pains as well. 100%. Absolutely. I think one thing that also happens, so my friend who had prostate cancer, he had it metastasize and you know, had a lot of other issues from it. He did he did have a ball removed, I believe. And there were some people that were making reproductive jokes. And there were some people that were making jokes aimed at like, you will be happy because now you can't impregnate someone potentially, which he could. He lost one, not two, but whatever. You know, they're making jokes of like, oh, maybe you won't have to wrap it up and shit like that. And I was like, I don't like that we assume every dude might not want kids. You know what I mean? Like, I understand they're not necessarily talking about like that. Yeah, the condom jokes and shit. And I was like, because I knew him personally very closely, and like he wanted nothing more than a family. Like if he actually couldn't, that would have been like devastating for him. But people tend to see that as like a woman only, like feminine only kind of thing. Yeah, they don't joke about that to women nearly as much. But like, you know, he lost a ball, so they were like, haha, it's so funny to make this joke toward him. He won't care, you know, whatever. And I was like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that because I was like, you don't know who you're saying this to. And what if this person really like cares a lot about this? There are plenty of dudes that do. Yeah, most men do have that Roman dream, a house, happy family. I think plenty do. Maybe nowadays, modern people. I think millennials and younger maybe care a little less about having a family. Or maybe having a family is fine, and they don't really want the kids always. But still, outside of that, yeah, it's not like an inherently feminine only thing. I don't know. I thought that was pretty shitty. Pretty shitty. Ooh. Yeah, new chatter. You said always listen to your gut when you know something's wrong. Even if the doctors don't listen, get another doctor. You made your husband get a second opinion when he was told he was fine and he had stage 4 colon cancer. Dude, colon cancer, anything pancreatic colon is so hard to detect too. So you've gotta just go and get like second, third opinions. 100%. If I had an organ removed and almost died, someone made a joke about it, I would light up the block. Dude, yeah. That's why I was like, I'm gonna not say anything publicly about this experience, about any of this. None, zero, until like a year later. A year after my surgery even. Or even was it longer? I don't remember. But I was like, I'm gonna wait a long time so that none of this will piss me off. You know? And when I was at the point where I was like, none of this will piss me off, then I felt good. You know? Obviously still in remission. It's not 100% like completely done and over with, you know? There's always those checks and things that you do. But yeah, it's just like it's like I don't want to get out of surgery and then go back to streaming while dealing with all the follow-up care and everything, because the surgery doesn't end it, you know? And then just deal with people like talking about it constantly, making jokes about it. I was like, I might be fine most days because I'm a pretty lax person. I didn't really think I'd have a huge issue with it emotionally or anything, but I was just like, you never know. You just never know if you're gonna have just a bad day and then like flip out on people. You know what I mean? I think I didn't really have many like bad dark moments or anything, especially like afterward. I was like pretty much chilling. But you never know when you're like on stream. There's a fuck ton of people there. They don't know what's going on, but they're still talking about it. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, better, safer for me to not say anything because you don't know. I know a lot of friends that have like big health issues that still stream. Like I know a lot of people with this. Some of them don't tell their chats at all. Some of them do. The ones that do often will just like take days off because they're like, I can't be sitting here in front of people right now. You know, they're just like overwhelmed. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get that. I get that. You know, yeah, how do you know how you react until you're actually there? Exactly, especially when it's like such a big situation. So better to just not. Had your port taken out last week? Let's go. Yeah, thankfully I didn't end up with a port, but we were We almost did a port, and I was like, ugh, I don't want to deal with that. I do not want to get a port installed. What's a port? When you do chemotherapy or you have a need for very frequent injections of something into your bloodstream, especially medications that go straight to the heart or things like that, sometimes they'll install a port, which is, I'll show you a picture, non-graphic, medical port. It's a thing that implants into a vein, and it gives you a spot to stick the needle into, basically. Yeah, it's like it's like a permanent IV line coming out of you, and you can inject into that port instead of injecting into like yourself, like going into your skin over and over. Let me see if I can find a good picture. I just want to find a picture of the device. Oh, here. Here. Yeah, like a human USB. They're really cool. A lot of them look like this. It goes typically under the skin. Not always. It depends on what type of port you have, but typically it goes underneath, and this tube goes into a vein, and it sits there. And when you inject stuff, you inject into that little circle that you see up top there. You inject into that, and then it delivers it straight into that vein. So it makes it a lot easier. Like I said, if you have like really frequent medical need, you have to like very frequently do that. This makes that a lot easier on you. Big infection risk? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I was like, yeah, I really don't want one of those. I really don't want one. I was like, I'd rather just do injections, because I had just kind of gotten over needles entirely with all the medical stuff I had been through. I will say it's really hard injecting yourself. Getting used to that. Really hard to do, but I would rather that than the port. So, you know. But that's what those are. Yeah, it also helps avoid vein deterioration or collapse. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Especially so a lot of older people will get them too, because injecting the same spot over and over can be kind of rough. It can be kind of rough, so. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just reading over stuff people were saying. So, genuine question here: if you had cancer and one ovary removed, do you still have a period? Yeah, having so when you have one ovary instead of two, let's say they produce all the hormones you need for your cycle, all those things. Both of them produce them at the same time, and they each produce about 50% of the hormone that you need at a certain time, right? Whatever volume you need. When you get rid of one, the other one now produces like 98, 99% of the hormone you need to keep things going normally. It's super rare that things go wrong with that. So yeah, losing one ovary is like really not a big deal. I think they said the stat was like on average you get menopause 1 year earlier. Like the average is 1 year earlier. Which is like really not a big deal at all in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it's not bad. It just kind of takes on the job. So one ovary is like totally sufficient. I think there's some people that have issues with it, but yeah, it's literally nothing. Yeah, it's a big nothing. It's a lot less than losing like a kidney or something, right? You can't skip a month. No, it doesn't work like that. No, the ovaries alternate in which one releases an egg each month. That's the alternation you're thinking of. It goes like A, B, right, left, you know? So the right one will release one month, then the left the next month. But when you only have one, this depends on the person. Some people, the one just releases one every month. Sometimes it becomes every other month. That just depends. It's really hard to track that in a person. It's really hard to figure out which you are, what's going on with that. But usually people don't have issues with it. And then the hormonal cycle is exactly the same. It's exactly the same, typically. Some people do, like, their body goes into shock a little bit. Like it takes like you'll be a little irregular for a bit while it figures itself out, but other people it's like totally back on track as if nothing happened. You know? Which is my case. It was like nothing happened. Literally. I will say I get a lot more water retention and I feel like I'm dying in ways that I didn't used to. It's gotten more painful over time, and now it's like ultra painful when it really was like not before. But I'll take that over like anything else bad that could have happened, honestly. So it's whatever, you know? I'll thug it out. I'll curl up my knees up against my body and drink some water and thug it out. I'd rather that over some other shit that could happen for sure. Yeah. You know, if you're going to have some sort of permanent negative, is chronic pain great? No, but it's a lot better than like some other stuff, so. Yeah. The thug life chose me, dude. Also, I will mention, total side note, before we do a little media share, total side note, we have a new thingy. It was posted in community updates, but I wanted to mention it. October, undead one. The undead faction one for October. Very fitting. What we did, something, we're adding something new, because I was like, I want to add more rewards for the winning faction, but I kind of don't know what to do that isn't like hard to do with a bigger community. So I used to do a lot of stuff that only worked when we were a lot smaller, and I was like trying to figure out how to replace that in a way that makes sense. So now what we've got is the winning faction for that next month will have a 10% discount on their faction plushie, and maybe other things in the future. But for right now, it's your faction plushie is 10% off, and it's just going to stay there for the month. And we'll do that for the winning faction going forward. I thought that would be a fun one, because I wanted some sort of like actual tangible reward. So there you go. Hi, Astroba. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Ta-da. I think it's funny that you guys won October, too. It was a good one. It was a good one. W undead. W undead. But yeah, so there you go. And I'm hoping to do more stuff like that in the future. If anyone has ideas of stuff that they want as a faction reward, when your faction wins for the month, you can go ahead and put them in the suggestions chat in the Discord. And maybe we'll do it, maybe not, if it's feasible, maybe. But I would like suggestions because I want to know what you guys want. It has to be something that works with a large number of people, though. Gold? Everyone gets $5,000. Yay. Everyone gets $100 billion. Nice. To know that Texas is out there experiencing joy pisses me off like you wouldn't believe. I thought he was your favorite mod. I thought he was your favorite. Is that duct tape on your helmet? That's not safe for space. Do you know why duct tape was made? Do you know about duct tape? You know about how duct tape is part of like the kit of things you bring to space for quick repairs on anything you need in space? Look, National Air and Space Museum has a page on duct tape. Duct tape and Velcro, my goats. They have a roll of duct tape in the museum, and they said, astronauts don't leave Earth without it. Duct tape is handy for repairs and, like Velcro, helps hold things in place. It is visible in many photographs of space crew activity and crew work areas. Duct tape helped save the Apollo 13 crew and the Apollo 17 lunar rover. NASA recorded that this roll of ordinary duct tape returned, the picture that they have, with the final Hubble Space Telescope servicing crew on Space Shuttle mission STS-125 in 2009. Ooh. It's actually like really important for for space. Velcro is huge though because that's how they keep shit from floating everywhere. Someone post the Soviets use a pencil myth to round this out. It's time. It's time. It's time. Hey, I'm literally space GEEGA right now. Okay, you can't tell me shit. You can't tell me shit. All right. Ooh, you could change the background of the factions at the top right to be gold or have a crown. Oh, tiny crown PNG. That was a myth. Interesting. Weren't certain types of pens literally made to be usable in space? Wasn't that like a thing? Or was it not a thing? Am I crazy? I thought pencils like weren't safe. Yeah, ballpoint. I'm just trying to get a shitty PNG of a crown. Ooh. So many of these are fake PNGs. Oh my god. They're all fake PNGs. Can I put this in here? Oh my god, it's not real. Look at that. It's got a black background. What? It's not even real. Not only did it like have a shitty fake background in the middle, but it had an entire oh my god. Okay, well I'll think about it later. Not a bad idea. Write it in the suggestions chat or I will forget. Thank you. I 100% will forget. Yeah, it's a fucking WebP. WebPs and their lies, dude. Their lies. Google says real. Well, what you can do now is you can take the WebP format and you can open a WebP, open as new tab kind of thing, open the image, and then right click to save. And then just put .png at the end. And just save it. At least on Windows 10 you can do this. You just save it. And it just saves it as a PNG. You don't have to download things as WebPs. You might have to do the little secondary drop down, like when you're in your file explorer, and it says like there's a field for file name, and then there's a drop down below that for file type. You may have to change it to like all files or all types or whatever the text is there, so it doesn't say WebP in the drop down, and then it'll work. Sometimes you need to do that. Same thing if you've got that issue where you see something on Twitter and you're like, oh, that's a banger picture of my waifu. I want to save it. And then you right click, open a new tab. And you're like, yeah, that's really good now that I see it a big. I want to save it. You right click, save image. And then it's like JFIF. And you're like, what the fuck is a JFIF? JPEG large. Go to where it says JPEG large, that drop down, change it to all files. And then put .jpeg at the end or PNG. It works. And then you save it as a normal ass image and not a JPEG large or a stupid JFIF. Okay? Yeah, that's my Twitter user voice. Oh, look at that picture of my waifu. I want to save it. This is going in my images to go to folder. And then it's like your favorite anime girl with like udders or some shit. You know, the stuff people post on Twitter. I gotta save this one. This one's crazy. Do what you gotta do, you know? I'm just letting you know if you want to save it and it's a JFIF, you could just add .jpeg to the end and change it to a normal thing. Hold on. I'm answering Joe Fudge. Joe Fudge wants me to join for D&D sometime soon. Hold on. Maybe next week. I have to check if I can do it that quickly. I have to just make sure I don't have anything crazy going on. would go. Love me Joe Fudge. Joe has to be one of my most favorite people. I will never forget being on Bounce SMP and hoping that people would RP, and no one really was, like, except for Joe. Joe was alone creating this whole storyline, and then some people that, like, know him were kind of, like, interacting with it, and then no one else was opposing it, and I was like, I'll just build over here. None of my friends were RPing, man. And I wasn't, like, close with a lot of those people. That was when I first met a lot of them, so. That's how it is, man. Piss King and Poop Girl in the same collab. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? It's gonna be crazy. Collision of worlds. No, I love Joe. I love Joe. Joe has always been funny as fuck, and I'll never get over the fact that his voice just sounds like Matthew Berry, the way he speaks. I don't know how he does it. He sounds the same. I think he is Matthew Berry in disguise. I think he just puts on a skin suit every time he streams, honestly. D&D with dementia video last week was bonkers. Oh my god. You know, Noah had been trying to get me into one of his videos for a long time. And I actually had not seen any of his videos a long time ago when I was first asked. So someone was like, hey, there's someone named this who wants you to be on their in a YouTube video. Do you want to do it? And I was like, what? And I was like, no, because I didn't know who he was at all. And I wasn't, the person who reached out didn't give me any info. They were like, there's a guy named Noah wants you to be in a YouTube video. Do you want to do it? And I was like, what? They didn't even like write his like username properly. So like, you know what I mean? So I was like, what? So I rejected it. And then he asked again sometime later, but this time I got sent the username and I was like, okay, now I can actually look this person up. And I look it up and I was like, oh, this is not like some random fucking weirdo. This is like a person who actually makes content and it's good. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And then I was like, maybe I have seen like bits of this somewhere. It wasn't completely unfamiliar, but I was just, the first time they ever reached out, I can't remember who it was that messaged me. It was like some manager. I don't know. It might, or maybe not. It might have been another VTuber. Somebody reached out. And they just said Noah, and they didn't write out, like, Magic the Noah. So I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, who are you talking about? And I hadn't seen a lot of his content, but I think if they wrote out his username, I would have been able to, like, figure it out pretty quickly. But they didn't, so I rejected it the first time. I could have been in a video way earlier, and it just never happened, man. It never did, dude. Anyway, it was fun. It was fun. The whole video was you yes-anding, Joel no-anding, and Pixie rats-anding. It was fun. I think I've realized, like, I am the yes-Andy. I am the yes-Andy. It's just it. Like, I can't help myself. I just yes-and people to death. I watched that video back, and I watched how I engaged with it versus like, you know, like everyone else. And I was like, I think I just do this. I don't know. It's just fun. Can I double or nothing Joel sent me? Oh, dude. Joel is always so resistant to everything everyone does too. So he was the no but and I was the yes and. Oh, it was funny. It was so funny. Have you ever done improv? Yeah. I was like, I wanted to be involved in theater more, but I really was uncomfortable with a lot of the theater kids because they would like start getting loud and I would start getting embarrassed and I'd want to like shrivel and leave. So I did like certain plays and things because I found that like the musicals had the worst ones. They had the worst ones for sure. But the normal plays had the kids that actually just wanted to act for real, you know? like they were less weird. So I focused on some of that stuff. And then, yeah, a lot of people were just really annoying, so I ended up focusing on, like, playing D&D and shit. I still ended up doing some musical stuff here and there, and it was really fun, but, it was so much. It was overwhelming for me. And when I was younger, I was more shy. I wasn't completely shy. I was just, no, I wouldn't say shy. I was quieter. For sure. So it just wasn't me. It just wasn't me, you know? And I liked some of those people, but others that I was like, you can't handle yourself. Like, you're, I don't know. And I was raised with, like, Catholic guilt and shame and stuff, you know? So, like, if you were, like, loud in public, you were the damn devil. If you made a ruckus, you deserved to die. That was, like, how I was raised, you know? Obviously paraphrasing, but, you know, if I knocked something over in public, I'd be like, I have to atone 5,000 years. Like, I can't, you know? So I really couldn't handle those types. I still to this day get a little overwhelmed. I'm a lot better with it. And over the internet is a lot easier than in person. But if I'm somewhere in person and someone's creating a ruckus, I'm like, I gotta leave. I'm gone. I can't do this. You know, or I tell them to stop. I become the fun police, you know? You gotta sometimes. You gotta. I don't know. Do you consider GTA RP improv? It is, yeah. Well, some people don't make it improv. Some people are just like, it's Discord call RP, but, you know. Yeah, exactly. Raise your voice, eternal hell. Drop something, eternal hell. Trip on your feet. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. That's a Catholic thing. Not necessarily. It's just more so like church etiquette. I don't know how to describe it. Somewhat it is. What the fuck is this song? Oh, it's this one. Okay, we're leaving it. I'm not skipping it. There we go. Yeah, I would get embarrassed when a friend would, like, laugh too loud, which is a thing a lot of teenagers do. It always pissed me off. You sit around, someone says something funny, and then someone laughs really loud because they do that thing that kids do where they, like, really want other people to notice that something funny happened or that they're having fun, so they, like, laugh and look around. That shit made me so angry, and I hated that. I couldn't handle it. I remember being, like, a teenager, and someone would be like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, literally, like, mod check, and I'd be like, I can't be with you. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Yeah, I felt the same, right? I like, at the time, I was not an adult. I didn't understand that I was being normal and sane. I was, like, thinking, yeah, something was wrong with me. I was like, am I the mean one? So I wouldn't necessarily tell them to stop. I would just find a way to remove myself from the situation. But, like, no. As I got older, I was like, this is not... There's nothing wrong here with trying to get people to be, you know, very demure, very mindful. Right? I don't know. Oh. The kid in your friend group who laughed like that would bring his laptop to school and play Red versus Blue max volume with his arms crossed smugly. Oh, I hate that so much, dude. I hate that. I remember. I remember I knew somebody who would pull out their phone. Remember the old YouTube app, how it had the old-timey TV with the 2 dials on it? That era. They would pull it out, and they would play the Scatman over and over. And they would sing along. They would sing along with it. Oh, they'd turn full volume on the phone. And they just start singing along with it. From the moment the song started too, he'd do the intro every time. And I was like, that was the worst. That was the worst era, man. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. Same, but with Chocolate Rain. That was another one. Oh my God. And I think this is something that kids do, especially, the younger you are, the more likely you are to want to play the thing that you think is funny over and over and over. So you know how like little kids now, they're like, if you, I don't know how many of you guys have like spent time with younger family members, have like babysat kids or anything like that. But when you're dealing with a little kid, they'll be like, I want to watch Aladdin. So you put on Aladdin. And then the movie ends and they're like, can we watch it again? And you're like, what? You watch them another day. I want to watch Aladdin. You just watched it last week. No, I want to watch it. What? Yeah, they want the same shit on repeat for literally forever. They're so soothed by like the repetition. And you grow out of that as you get older, but that's what kids love. And it stays. It stays through young adulthood, you know? So they're just like, they're just sitting there and they're like, I want to watch that 5-minute video of the Finger Family song where they sing about which finger is the daddy finger and the mommy finger. And then they just do it like over and over and over. That shit is crazy. Crazy. Which one was your guys' thing? Said you watched Toy Story every night for 4 years when you were younger. Yeah. Your sister watched K-pop Demon Hunters 9 times in one day because of your niece. Kill me. Fucking kill me. Kung Fu Panda. Watched the Power Rangers movie 30 times. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, I watched that one a bunch. I watched... You know what I watched a lot of? The OG producers. The one from the 60s. I had a VHS of that one. I watched the OG movie of the producers over and over and over because I loved Gene Wilder. He comforted me. He was soothing. Everything he did. Yeah, it was the Gene Wilder one. So I like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but I remember him really heavily from the producers. And I watched that one so many times. The B movie every day for nearly a month. Oh no. Oh no. Oof. When you were a kid, your mom had a rule where your younger sister wasn't allowed to sit in the front room alone. She only wanted to watch Sleeping Beauty. You actively tried to destroy the tape. Yes. Yes. Oh, man. The Land Before Time. Oh, I didn't like that one. I remember not liking it. I don't know, man. Everyone had their thing. Everyone had their thing that they've watched like 1,000 times. All right. Speaking of watching stuff, until the collab, which is in about an hour, I want to do media share.